Neil, welcome to Shaman Player. Another really disappointing away defeat, particularly after such a really good performance this evening.
Well, it's only disappointing in respect to the result. It's not disappointing in the attitude and the commitment and the desire of the players, who I thought were excellent tonight. I think all three goals against were contentious. There was first one shouldn't have been a free kick. The second one was debatable whether it was over the line, and on the third goal, a right back's been pushed as well. So I'm not happy at all about the decisions that have gone against us, and I think it's really poor. I think to get one decision wrong you might accept, but to get three wrong in a game, which has a hand in all three goals, I think is very poor.
Yeah, obviously before the game you were forced into making changes with Simon Ainge, Lee Gregory, both out. Archie Love came in. What was the thinking behind his first start? Was he impressed in training?
Well, the thinking is that he's a good player and he deserves his chance in the team, and he's handled it well as the other two lads, who are all young lads who've played tonight. They've all done a good job for the team.
Yeah, and obviously missing Simon Ainge was a real loss to the team after the way that he's played this season, and then his centre-back partner Mark Roberts has to come off early on in the game. How damaging was that for Halifax tonight?
Well, obviously Hereford are a big team in height, and you need some height yourself, and you knew that if anything that's where it might cause us a problem. But to lose Mark Roberts and Simon Ainge, and to lose Danny Lowe all in the same, it's really bad luck. Yeah, obviously when you keep losing away from home, it's not just about luck, but you'd have to say we're not getting any luck.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously Danny Lowe then followed Mark. I thought he must have been going crazy on the touchline. Like what keeps happening to this team?
I think you were going to say I'm pulling my hair out, but there's no chance of that happening. But for suddenly to be then playing a game without Lee Gregory, Simon Ainge, Mark Roberts, and Danny Lowe, and then Adam Smith getting a knock as well is, it's hard to cope without five players. But the lads who came in did a really good job, and I really feel for them tonight. They deserve something from the game, and like I said, to get three goals against you where they're all contentious decisions, it's very disappointing.
Despite obviously losing those players, scored a very good penalty set up by some really good play by Joe Ironside. How do you rate his performance tonight in maybe the biggest match of his career to date?
Well, it's not the biggest match of his career. I think he's played 20 times for Sheffield United
first
team.
Well, in terms of Halifax town,
which I would say is quite big games, but certainly for Halifax, he's waited for his chance, and I thought he did really well tonight. It's not easy to play up front on your own, but he battled well. Had a handle of penalty. It was a really good centre forward goal what he got with his head, and I was really pleased with his performance, and that'll do his confidence a world of good.
You mentioned that you weren't too happy with the refereeing decision with regards to his goal. You had a little chat with him as he came off in the first half. What did you have to say to him?
Well, I just expressed my views, and then obviously I was told that I couldn't say anything else, or I would be in serious trouble. But it's very frustrating. You look at the two games we've just played away from home, and the amount of decisions we've had against us, and it's really it's becoming a problem.
Yeah. It's difficult for you at half-time knowing that your centre-back pairing is two midfielders. Despite that, your team comes out in the second half, dominates for 20 minutes and gets the goal they deserve, settled by some really excellent play by debutant Sam Patterson. How did you rate his performance after he came on tonight?
Well, for Sam, he's only joined us today. Just managed to get his registration through in time, and he's just been thrown at a deep end, and obviously he did fantastically well for the goal, and he's he had a hell of a baptism coming into this game, but I thought he did really well, and the quality for the goal was really excellent, and that'll do him the world of good. I think for all Archie, and I think for Joe up front, and for Sam, that's probably the best thing that's come out of the game, because with all the injuries we've got, we're going to need extra bodies. We know the deadline's on Thursday, we can't bring anyone else in, so we're going to be really stretched, and the fact that they've all had experience at this level, I think that's a good thing from the game.
You must have been pretty confident after scoring that goal that this might be the moment, the first league.
No, I wouldn't say I was overconfident, because I know that they're going to have a spell where they put us under pressure, and like I say, we had a distinct lack of height compared with them, and I knew that any set pieces would be a problem. But we deserve something from the game.
Yeah. Just a quick word on the three guys that came off tonight. Firstly, Mark Roberts. Have you got kind of time frame? Does it look serious? Because it took quite a knock on his knee.
Yeah, I think at the moment it's hard to say. If we're unlucky, we could lose two of them for a while. If we're lucky, then maybe there's a few weeks. But now we're forgetting as well. Ryan Tolson's out as well. So suddenly we're without probably 6 players who've been playing most of the games. So it's not ideal. I think now is the time where I think the supporters for Halifax really have to get behind the team, because they need some help, they need some backing. We're in a difficult period where we probably can't get out what I would say is my strongest team, and we've got to really fight and scrap, and we need everybody pulling in the right direction. And I think if the players show the effort and commitment they did tonight, then the fans will back them. But they certainly need that backing, and they need the help. Yeah,
and finally, the first chance that the fans get to back the side is Saturday, as the club resumes its fierce rivalry with Guiseley that was so prominent last year. How important it is for you and your side to do well in the FA Trophy this year?
Well, we'd like to do well in the trophy. It's an important competition. But at the moment, my main concern is that I probably need to get a couple of more players in because of the extent of the injuries we have, and I'll be working hard to see if I can do that tomorrow, because we need a couple of more bodies in before Saturday. But the trophy is important. We want to do well. We know it'll be a tough game. Guys, their tails are up at the moment. We've obviously had a setback today, but I will never criticise it. But if they're giving me that effort and commitment, then I won't ask for any more than that. And they've battled well in the last 2 games. Deserve something from them, but unfortunately, we haven't got what we deserve.
Neil, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.